She'll pay him back. You know what? Maybe we should actually turn on the microphones on the stream. It got caught in the audio version, so don't worry.
Oh, we're
only
fine.
Lost like 10 seconds, but
Hey guys, welcome back. We're all good. We're doing big snacks. I just got here. I had a pocket full of snacks, and I'm like, David, try some of this almond-covered chocolate things. We're snacking. It's delectable. I'm like, David, how about some of these other snacks in my snack pocket? And then David pulls out this entire
box of well, now they're not an entire box, but
like an entire wedge of like various snacks. 100%, dude. Do you know what it is? I don't know. I love snacking, David. I'm a big snacker.
for a man with diabetes, I'm also a huge snacker. To be fair,
Wait, I forgot.
I went to the doctor.
I'm taking these snacks away
this
from
week
you.
on Tuesday.
Oh, how'd it go?
And he he took my blood, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, the drugs are really working. Like, we don't really have to do anything. And I've been eating the worst that I've possibly. I just
I did that. Oh my
sneaking
fucking
stuff
God.
and just real bad. Yeah.
Go do it. Do it for a little bit and then stop immediately.
Yeah, that's a little bit harder to do.
So I had my so in Japan, if you don't know, you have a yearly health check. I had mine the end of February. Got my results last week. No, sorry, beginning of this week.
Yes.
So I get my results. I'm going through them, and I have a thing where I don't know what. I'm pretty healthy. I exercise, kickboxing, I'm running, yada yada yada. So every single year, my grade is A's and B's. It's never been lower than A's and B's. I always have fucking fantastic grades. Apart from 2 years ago, after working for pretty shitty companies, my health was terrible. I think it was B's and C's, And I remember the doctor being like, bro, what the fuck happened? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I can see your past health records. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you've never got lower than a B. Like, you're always B. Like, you've got 1A this year. What the actual fuck? It was so bad that I got like a follow-up report being like, hey, go to the doctor and check some of this shit out. Because like, normally we wouldn't have to recommend this for if you get B's and C's, kind of whatever. But considering you consistently had A's and B's and now you're suddenly getting C's, that's bad. Why? So I had to go to the doctor to be like, hey, I'm actually fine. I'm explaining like what.
I'm just eating like garbage.
No, legitimately, I was like, I'm just on the road constantly for like 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time, like working and stuff. Doctor's like, and how much are you eating and drinking? And I'm like, let me tell you, doctor, everything.
How much? Yes.
Yes. I see a can, and the first thing I check is the alcohol percentage, and then I consume it. That's it. That's the 1 to 2 of drinking things. So like, doctor was basically like, you know, sort your shit out, take a break from the company if you need to, yada yada. So now I'm back to like A's and B's only, which is fucking fantastic. That was me. So now I'm back to like A's and B's only. So I get my results. Everything's cool. Thursday comes around like 2 days ago. I'm in a meeting. I fucking love this kid.
Just turn my.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm moving my.
Smash
So I'm,
it.
so I'm actually like having a conversation.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
with
yeah.
you, even though there's a giant
I'm okay
light
with that.
post
It's
in the
always
way.
So like I'm in a meeting. It's a Thursday.
Yes.
I'm at the office. It's Thursday. I get a call from Joey, and I'm like, oh shit, Joey, the anime man is calling me while I'm in a meeting. This must be work related. This must be important. Because obviously it's 11:50 on a Thursday. It's got to be something
During
important.
business hours.
Look, I jump at this meeting. I'm like, my boy. I'm like, Moshi. This is Jordan. How can I assist you, my client? And he's like, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, I'm in the office, you know, working. He's like, yeah, cool. So you want to hang out? I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, there's an event happening. Want to go to this event? And I'm like, wait, what time's the event? He's like 4. And I'm like, no, sir, I'm in the office till at least 5 or 6, which fucking sucks. So I was like, can't do it this week. Sorry about that. I'm working it out. And he's like, so drinks afterwards instead? So drinks instead? We drank till 3 a.m.
Why?
on a Thursday.
Why?
Because it was just so much fun. It wasn't the plan. The plan was a little bit, few drinks, casual drinks, little dinner. Go home, get out of there, go home. It gets to like around last train, and we're like, all right, let's call it at night. But it was just, you know, the vibe is just fucking. Oh, dude, yeah.
But I also know I like sleeping in my own bed.
No, I did that night, to be fair. But still, I was like, man, the vibe is immaculate. But
I mean, if you miss to be fair, if you miss the last train, you're kind of fucked anyway until the train started in the morning. So you might as well just stay out all night.
Yeah, well, stay out for a while and then taxi back, depending on
yeah.
I had a weird. Not that far actually. It was like 30 minutes from my house, so the taxi was like 5,000 yen. Yeah, like $50, whatever, dude. I'll pay that to sleep in my own bed for like the night, basically. But no, fucking sick vibes. Went really, really hard. Get up the next day. You know, obviously, I'm up at like 9 to start work. Log in, start working. And as I'm working, I'm like, man, I just got my medical report on Monday saying
fix your shit.
No, this one was like A's and B's, and I'm like, man, if the doctor knew what I was doing on Thursday, he'd be fucking pissed. He'd be like, how, bro, we've just given you a B. What the fuck?
Whatever.
But that was cool. What it is. I love that kid, dude. We might hang out next week as well. I might drag everyone out for something. I'll drag you in as well if you want to come do something. But we don't know what yet. Nothing's been decided. But we're thinking of something. Maybe dinner, drinks, karaoke sesh. Something casual.
Sounds good.
Something casual, you know? But yeah, that's kind of how... that was the highlight of my week. How was your week? What did you do?
Man, this week I didn't have work. I was supposed to have work, but I didn't have work. So I've kind of just sat at home. Like, man, this week went by fast.
Right? I agree.
And I'm kind of like...
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Exactly. It's insane.
It's like, oh, it's Friday.
Yeah. I'm like setting up my I have like a work study recording room. Yeah. So as you know, last week after the podcast, David helped me buy a computer.
Oh yeah, I guess we did do that. I mean, technically that's the same week, so I wasn't really thinking about that, but yeah.
Oh, to be fair, yeah. So last week after the podcast, we ended the podcast, and me and David went to Akihabara to go and like basically like shop around for a bit. I was gonna edit.
I went to buy a single thing of paint.
He went to go buy a single thing of paint. I went to go look at a computer, and that's it. What actually happened was if anyone's been here since season 1, you understand what happened. So season
yeah,
Tokyo Fresh season 1 was basically an hour and a half, 2 hours of unhinged podcasting. Just some of the greatest riffs you'll ever see in your entire life. Insanity. And then it was me and David going, so we drink now? And then we'd go find somewhere to drink, like Humbe or like a cheap izakaya.
Yep.
And we'd get fucked up. And then we'd just go home, like, just completely just shat. Dude.
It was long enough that by the time I got home, I was okay because I lived far enough away on the train line that
you could, like,
I was
sober
okay.
up. I would get home, like, still drunk, continue drinking, play, like, Elden Ring. You'd get home, we'd be like Apex for a bit, we'd jump on it. It was fucking sick. So, like, last week was basically that. It was small adventure, and then we found that lemon sour place.
So, yeah. So, I've never actually, like, I think you and me are the same type of shopper.
Yeah.
You want something, you go to the store, you buy
get it,
you fuck off.
Yeah,
and you go home,
yeah.
Right? So, like, I never actually, because, like, I'll go to Akihabara to buy paint because there's stores there that only sell a specific type of paint that I like. And it's not like 5,000 yen for a fucking small dropper bottle.
It's actually reasonable. I was surprised.
So, usually I'll go there, buy my shit, and then come home. Unfortunately, it's like an hour away, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't stay around that area ever because I don't need to go to Maid Cafe and hate myself. So I'm not like eating in the Akihabara area, so I don't know what the fuck's around.
Same.
So we're like, oh, okay. It was like, what, 7?
Yeah, it's like
8?
7-ish, and we're like, oh, fuck it. Let's just go Toriki. Easy.
Yeah, go to Toriki.
We get up to Toriki. Bro, honestly, this guy in Toriki.
I forgot about this.
Remember this guy?
Yeah.
An absolute fucking bro. We get up to Toriki. It's like the 7th floor of a 7th floor building. We elevator up. We get inside. Doors open, and it is fucking packed. There are people upon people waiting for a fucking seat.
It was like it was Saturday night.
It was like Saturday night. So, to be fair, it makes sense. But then guys like, bro, sign your name. Wait. So I'm signing my name, and I'm like, hold on a minute, bro. How long's the wait between you and me? How long's the wait? I'm like, an hour? And he's like, more than that. And he looked me dead in the eye, and he was just...
He did this to
me. He just went,
I don't know.
Bro did the double hand shrug and was like, more than that. And I was like, bro is honest to a fault. I respect it. We're leaving this place. We get straight up in the elevator and fuck off. But obviously a godsend. Because we're like, let's just go anywhere. So I just Google like, Chikako no izakaya.
Yeah. It was literally across the road. Where I almost got hit by a fucking bottle.
Yeah, what the...
Someone had like thrown a bottle into the street. Like a plastic bottle, like a pet bottle, and a car ran over it, and it like literally shot out from under the tire, like right past my face.
Fucking insane, honestly.
And I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
This is why you don't like hang around Akiba. I don't know what it is.
Gross and dirty, and there's foreigners and
everywhere, dude. So like, we roll up to this fucking
gross brother.
Brother, I fucking love that shit. So like, we find this random izakaya across the road. Looking at the photos, we're like, looks good, looks fine. We'll give it a go. Whatever, dude. We get up the stairs. It's like a weird, like, fourth floor establishment with the first floor being like nothing.
Yeah.
So we're second floor. We walk in. I'm translating this, but it's entirely in Japanese. I go to the guy, hey, tell for 2. And bro's like, all right, cool, sick. Give me a second. Starts hitting the keypad. Out of nowhere, bro pulls up. I don't know what bro was.
I don't know either.
Bro was on demon time because me and the guy behind the counter, we've established it. Bro's like, yo, and I'm like, sup, tell for 2. Bro's like, sick. Let me quickly hit some buttons. He's hitting the buttons. Bro rocks up, jumps in, doing some whispering. Me and David just talking, behind the counter. Original bro was like, in Japanese, all right, sick. Second floor. Sorry, third. He's like,
third floor. Yeah.
Third floor upstairs. We're like, cool. We're already starting to move. Other bro's like, wait a minute. Kohai, you don't understand. They're not Japanese.
This fucking guy.
Let me translate so they can understand where to going. Mind you, we're already on our way.
Yeah, we know where we're going.
We've turned. We've about faced and we're walking to the stairs to go to the third floor. Bro goes, hello. Floor 3. Third floor table. And me and David.
And he's doing like
he's
this.
Doing
like, third floor. Go third floor.
Third floor table. The third floor. And me and David, We just like
our brains. My brain literally shut down because he made it more confusing by talking to me in English.
We both like we'd already started walking and we both just stopped. Cause I was like,
because now some dude's like shouting at us, third floor, and
I'm like, wait, am I going the wrong way?
We're like, what? I don't know what's going on.
Am I? Is there a different staircase to the third floor? Because I'm walking to the direction of the staircase. So now I'm like, wait, am I going the wrong way?
At first I was like, I thought he was confirming like how many people are with us, and he went like he had like this like three,
yeah,
because he had to think about what he was saying in English, but he flashed this
the 3 first, yeah.
us. So I'm like, and then I have to think because we went up a floor to get into here, and I'm like, wait, okay, are we on the second or third floor? Like, I don't know which floor we're on now. Is this the first floor? Because technically the bottom floor would be the ground floor.
Bro, I defaulted to the Empire. I was like, the ground floor is the ground floor. We're on the first floor now, baby. This is how it works. Bro, freaked me out. But then like we get upstairs, we take our seat, dude. We open that menu, 1 lemon sour, 60 yen.
Was it 60? I thought it was 80, but it was less than 100.
Sorry, 80 yen for one. 160 yen for a big boy.
That's what it was.
Yeah. It was 80 yen for a lemon sour, and then 160 yen for like a mega lemon sour. There's a whole game where like, because it's like a Nama lemon sour.
You had
to
make like a what is it? A
lemon
tower
thing. Yeah. So like you juice the lemon, you fill your cup with it, you stab it in the little like stick on the table, and you pile it up, and then like once it reaches over the rim of the glass, you get like a free lemon sour.
Yeah, free, you've paid your way.
Yeah, you've paid your way. Free lemon sours aplenty, it was a great deal. It was a fun day out. Honestly, sick lemon sour place. Dude, I posted on Instagram like when we got there. So I made a story to be like, yo, this place has like 80 yen lemon sours. That's crazy. I had to send that place to 12 separate people. I had 12 separate people DM me be like, hey, don't gatekeep this.
What's it? Julio, I supposed to name of this place?
No, they were like, send me the Google Maps. Do not gatekeep this place.
It's like literally right behind the station too.
It's a great location. Right there.
But it is kind of like, it is one of those like weird, like the place inside was like really big.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The entrance is literally just a stairway.
It's terrifying.
And like a single man door off the street. So if you would walk by this, no problem.
We almost walked by it.
Yeah.
We were looking
did
for
walk
it.
by
We did
it.
walk by it, technically, yeah. Like, it's weird as well because how the building is placed. There's technically 2 entrances. It's like the front entrance and the back entrance. And both entrances are like,
on the side of the building.
Exactly, yeah. You will not find this place if you don't have the location for it, honestly. 10 out of 10.
We'll
be back.
post it.
We'll post it. We'll be back.
The chicken was good. Oh, man.
Oh, man, the chicken. I forgot. God damn. How good was that fucking chicken?
So they had this chicken.
Yeah.
That it was like literally just like coated in like, I don't know what the fuck
it was. Like a crushed black pepper.
Crushed black pepper and like fat, and it's like the whole thing was fucking coated.
Dude,
and the guy's like, if you order this, when you're done, order onigiri.
Yeah.
And like take all the like juice and the black pepper and stuff up.
Yeah.
With an onigiri. Fucking good. Insane. Oh my god. And I think it was like less than $5 for.
It was less than $5, yeah.
For
like a sizable chunk. It was basically a leg and a thigh connected. It was like that.
So I'm thinking like we ate. What did we eat? We ate
a whole thing. Yep.
Stuff. We had pickles. We had both had a chicken. We had at least 6
drinks between us.
Easily.
Yep. The bill was under 5,000 yen.
We paid.
It was like
$23 a piece,
total,
something like that.
It was dumb.
Yeah, stupid. And like you could just for 80 yen, like you could just drink forever.
Dude,
like,
for 80
to be perfectly honest.
No, yeah. Drinks were pretty good as well. I was on the train going home, like,
and like actual. It's not like, oh, we put in like the lemon flavor into the
no
thing.
It
was like they just give you
a lemon and a juicer.
There's like a juicer on the table.
Yep.
And that's where you like put all your lemon like rinds in.
Oh yeah. I actually might make this place like my go-to. Taking someone
there enough.
Yeah. If I'm like transferring them, I'm doing something there. I might drag people to this place and be like, hey, want a quick drink in this 80 yen lemon sour place?
Yeah.
Who the fuck's saying no to that? But yeah, you got 100.
We'll leave the location.
I'll put it in the Discord.
The travel information section.
I'll put it in the Discord because I'm gonna gatekeep this place to anyone who's not in the guest.
Yeah, there you go.
If you know me personally, just lie to me. I'll give it to you. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, 10 out of 10, fucking sick place. No, I think that actually probably was the highlight of the week. That was really well done.
And that happened Saturday night, and it wasn't even this week.
Downhill from there. Let me tell you.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That was a good week though.
So
what happened? Go for it.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Do we want to talk about our main topic story today?
Yeah, it's a big one, so let's jump into it. Or?
Well, I mean, we could do both. This is depending on when we want to do. Do we want to do a Somali update, because I find we haven't talked about him,
God,
and I don't like giving him the attention that he thinks he deserves, because he doesn't deserve any. Yeah. But I think it is interesting that man is fucking going to jail. For sure.
He's done.
So
I have the entire day if you want it, but
yeah. Go ahead. I know what's going on as well.
Oh, so fantastic! Okay, jump in. Yeah. So I think the last time we heard was that he was basically being his passport was taken. He was stuck in Korea.
Yep.
For those who don't follow internet drama, so he's stuck in Korea. His court case was basically last week or this week. Yep. I want to say, yeah. And this was one of his court cases. I think the way they do court cases in Korea is that the city that you're in, that's where you go for the charges.
Yes, you go to the courthouse in that city. So like, if you're living in Japan and you committed a crime in like fucking, I don't know, like Nerima-ku or something, right?
Yeah.
You would go to Nerima, and then that would be where you serve your charge. But if you also committed another crime in a different, like, of the 23 things, you would have to go for that charge to a different courthouse in that thing.
Absolutely insane, dude. Yeah. So like, he went to the courthouse for his charges, but before that, he made what I would say is the most smooth-brained.
Report on yourself.
Report on yourself.
Yeah.
Bro was
record your crimes.
Literally night before, he's on like a live stream where he's doing live streaming now, and he's getting like basically blackout drunk. And,
For the funny thing is, he's getting blackout drunk for donations. So like, people are like donating $3 to him to get him fucking hammered.
Yeah.
Or like take shots or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure, but the problem there is that if you have to go to court
the next day,
you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but this is a man who doesn't do things he's meant to be doing. So he spent the entire evening getting blackout drunk, and then the next day, his court case, bro's an hour late. Turns up hungover or drunk.
Hungover, wearing a suit that doesn't
fit.
An
ill-fitting suit. Bro,
and a MAGA hat.
Dude, and a fucking MAGA hat. Jesus. Oh, dude. Fuck.
I just find it really funny that he thinks, like, because he's American laws apply to him.
Yo, yeah, for some reason he thinks that.
I don't know why he thinks that.
Oh, okay, quick aside. I was watching what's that? The Jubilee debate thingies they always do.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, terrible, because it's not a debate per se. When you have one person against like 20 people of the same thoughts,
right?
You're one man in an echo chamber, and you're the only person fighting against the echo.
Right.
You can't fight the echo, basically. So like, as like a what's the word? I tend to avoid the Jubilee videos.
You're talking about like the YouTube channel Jubilee. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I tend to avoid just because they don't really do anything.
No.
If you are, I don't know, if you're...
I think it's interesting that they actually, like, do kind of surface those, they actually do have, like, people who are staunchly one side or the other and actually sit them in a room.
Yeah.
And they very clearly don't fucking like each other.
The one that was funny was, I think I just watched the one with, I forgot his name,
Sam Cedar?
Sam Cedar, thank you. Sam Cedar...
Yeah, Dan just mentioned it.
Thank you. Sam Cedar, very, very well educated, a political pundit for like years now. Guys, he's very knowledgeable in like politics. Watching him speak reminds me of like listening to my politics lectures back in university. So like, I'm watching this man and he's like mentioning facts and he's bringing up like cases and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's super interesting. Let me look that up. And you look it up and you're like, oh, wow, it's what he says it is. How interesting. And for example, he'll be like, big loop back, but for example, he'll be like, oh, in 1972, they did this thing, and that's why this thing's happening now. And the person who's debating will be like, I don't believe you. And it's like, well, we can't, what do you mean you don't believe? We can't have a conversation then.
Whether you believe me or not is irrelevant if it happens.
It's irrelevant. Like, the big one that's been going around is like the government thing where he was saying like, oh, government bodies like don't pay tax. They're funded by the taxpayer. And the guy's like, I don't believe you. What do you mean? What do you mean? I commented, is Harvard easy to get into? Because this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the American school system at work. This is insane. So you have things like that being showed to public. Bigly back to Johnny Smiley. Why does he think American laws, he's following American laws in Korea? This is why. Americans are so closed off to like their own system. So they go to another country and they think that the other country abides by the same systems as America. There's a really funny series I was watching on TikTok as well where Europeans will comment about things they've heard Americans say.
Right.
Someone was in Italy and she asked an Italian man, why don't you guys celebrate the 4th of July? What? We're in Italy.
The education system at work is.
We're in Italy.
Wow.
What the actual fuck? So it's things like that I'm no longer surprised when Americans do dumb American
The weird
stuff.
like exceptionalism, but like there's really no reason why you should have any kind of exceptionalism.
Yeah.
Like because you're too dumb to realize
that you've been
had.
Yeah, you've been had. You've been had so bad that at this stage to admit you've been had, they can't do it. You'd have to unravel your entire belief system, and people can't. They don't have like the mental fortitude to rebuild themselves like mentally. So they're just like, fuck it. This is now who I am until I reach an impasse where I physically have to change or die. But even then, most will just choose die. Look at America now. People are choosing die. I'm having a great time with it, watching it from afar anyway. But then you go to Johnny Smiley and you're like, this is he's at an impasse now where there's now nothing else he can do. He's done. Whether he cops up to his guilt and he admits guilt and he says I'm guilty for these charges.
Well, I mean he did.
He did.
Like that is what happened.
And then so I think what was the word? He admitted he was guilty for the charges.
Yeah.
But then on like a live stream later on, he was saying like, oh, but actually, it's going to be a slap on the wrist. It's
right.
Just
he's
like,
like, oh yeah, you know, like he's like, yeah, I did. I went in there and I pled guilty to the charges because they're just like, you know, misdemeanors or whatever.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a slap on the wrist, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But like, he doesn't understand that pleading guilty to a crime makes you have a criminal record.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you have a criminal record, technically you're a felon.
Yes.
So then the issue becomes, okay, he's gone to court, right? He's pled guilty to those charges. Now they've set up a new court date for different charges in a different part of Korea because it's like we explained before, it depends on where you commit the crime, not that you committed the crime itself. But the ones that he's on for in the other area are like more serious charges, and I think one or two or all of them are like actually felony charges.
Oh, yeah.
And now the issue that I don't think he understands is that all of these stack. It's just like, it's not just like, I did 5 crimes, I get 5 minimum punishments.
No.
It's like, no, you commit 5 crimes, we look at all 5 of them and then decide what's the minimum and maximum that we're going to give you.
And you've already pleaded guilty to like 2 in the first court case, and now you have the next one. You're now going to be tried
but
as
not
a
only
felon.
that, you're going to be tried as a felon because you have a criminal record. So
if I'm the lawyer on the opposing side, I'm like, Your Honor, he's a felon. He's 2
right, yeah, exactly.
He has 2 guilty pleas against him. We're done.
It's not even that too. It's like his public defender is probably just like, I just can't
be.
I feel so bad for the public defender that got him because there's no way he could win.
It's impossible.
Like literally impossible. I mean, I guess that guy gets paid per case, so it doesn't really matter. But like, he's just like, oh, I got to do all this fucking work, all this fucking paperwork to figure out how to get him to get off on these charges, and it's just not gonna happen.
I would just be like, Smiley, just plead guilty, and then and beg the court for leniency because you're done. The prosecutor's case is so easy. It's Johnny Smiley did this, and then he goes, "No, I didn't." I go, "Exhibit A. Here's Johnny Smiley doing the thing on his live stream video."
After saying, "I'm gonna continue to do it and do it again."
Here's him saying, "We're done. The case is over."
It's not even like because like Johnny Smiley put up a thing. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's talking about the charge he pled guilty to about the obstruction of business or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, some Korean lady drove her car into the thing." Into the convenience store, and she only got 2 years, and it's like,
Yeah.
but you don't know how her court proceeding went. You don't know if she was remorseful. You don't know why she did it necessarily, because by your own admission, you don't speak Korean, so why would you know?
Yep.
Right? So it's just like I cannot wait. I seriously hope, because like even the public in Korea is like, we don't like fucking put him away, right?
The media's also going really hard about like trying to get the harshest punishment.
Yeah. And I at this point, like if he's coming out and saying, if you slap me on the wrist, I'm just gonna continue
doing
to
it,
do
yeah.
it, because a fine is like whatever, I'll pay the fine. I don't care. Like I make enough money from idiots financing me to want me to see me get fucking beat up or hurt or whatever, that I'll just pay the fine, continue to do whatever. So, you know, put him in for the fucking maximum amount of time. Like there's not really any downside to that when you look at as the prosecutor and the judge, right? Like, okay, you've clearly said you're going to continue to do it, so we're just gonna put you in jail.
We're gonna stop you from doing it.
Yep.
Enjoy the foreign prison, I think it's called. Where
Yeah,
they have,
I don't know.
There's like a prison with like just foreigners and like Chinese immigrants or whatever, like or like gangsters or whatever. You'll be in that prison, cabbage farming. Have fun, like.
Well, I mean, that's another thing, Dan. Like, if he's collecting money to cause chaos, like technically he's working too. So like that's breaking visa regulations. Like, there's a whole plethora of things that they could try him for. So I guess we'll have to wait till April 9th to see what fucking goes down. But I imagine he's probably getting prison time.
He is, yeah. I'm praying for
and then there's like that other like weird thing where they're like, are you a North Korean spy? Because he's like said shit about like you know, like, I love North Korea, Kim Jong-un till I die, like that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, like that's not. They take that kind of shit real fucking seriously in Korea, because hey, they're still at war with North Korea. Like, that didn't stop. So if you're coming into North Korea and being like, yeah, he's my homie, I love that guy, they're not gonna take that kindly. Right?
I would say, like, put him in prison or send him to North Korea.
See what they do with him.
Yeah, but go for it. You love North Korea, go for it. Have fun. Good luck. Because listen, you don't speak a word of Korean. Good luck. Good fucking luck. What an idiot. Yeah. Next couple of months, there should be a nice little update where he's in prison for a couple of years. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's. I just like I hope that the cosmos align and he just gets like the maximum
5 years prison,
ass blasted, horrible sentence.
The thing as well, like, even with the international media that does cover this, no one's like, oh no, our poor citizen's been stuck.
Right.
Like, no one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Fuck this guy.
Outside of like the circle of like influencers and like online personalities,
right.
You know,
who are doing the exact same type of shit.
No, yeah.
Literally
outside of like those people like talking about it or doing the same kind of shit, like no one cares.
No.
Like, I don't think the media is going to turn and be like, actually,
and
no.
I think the only reason that those people care is because they're doing the same shit. So now it's like, oh, well, you know, if he went down for it, I could go down for the same thing. And like, I wonder if that happens, like, maybe they just start being like, okay, this isn't going to be a slap on the wrist anymore.
Nope.
We're like, you do the same shit. Johnny is now the benchmark. We're just going to slap you with it.
Dude, 5 years. Meiwaku, if you film yourself doing crime and it's some kind of like nonsense stream of bullshit, 5 years. Minimum 5 years.
He's a total fucking idiot. I cannot believe he wore a MAGA hat, dude. Yeah, like, I don't know what he thinks, like, Daddy Trump's going to get him out of the Korean legal system. Like, Trump does not give a fuck.
He doesn't give a shit about you, dude.
He literally gives, like, negative fucks.
It's about billionaires and billionaires only now. Like, if you're an American normal person and you're not a billionaire, you are or a millionaire, you're not cared about. Like, just shut up, dude. Like, your opinion no longer matters. Be quiet. Like, just sit down. You've 4 years. Chill.
Yep.
Protest or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Good luck, bro.
All right. Let's move on to the story of the week, because this happened. This happened like what?
A couple days ago.
There's a couple.
Beginning of the week.
Yeah, it was beginning of the week. Like maybe Monday, Tuesday. I don't remember when it started. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, where to begin this story? So this was, I think it was the, because what is today? It's the 15th. I think it was the 11th.
Yeah,
I believe.
Hold on.
This was 4 days ago.
It was one of like the last things I tweeted. I can actually find it pretty quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it was like 4 days ago.
All right. So, I guess I don't know what
ago,
we'll title this as, but she's not even a Twitch streamer. She's just just say she's a streamer.
Just a live streamer or live.
She was streaming on like a service I'd never heard of.
It's like a Japanese
stream. Hua Chatto or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have a like 1-page document where I've conglomerated all of the stuff here.
Appreciate it.
I am gonna, while we're talking about this, I will bring up the chat logs, because they paint a different picture than what was originally reported, and maybe people in the English speaking community saw, because they change kind of like the whole dynamic of this story.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think it's pretty
damning.
Yeah, in ways that I kind of didn't hit me from an angle I wasn't expecting. So let me just set this up. I will get it to where I need to be. We'll get it to here. Okay, so let me start reading. So Airi Sato, she is a streamer. She was attacked at around 9:50 a.m. while walking alone in a residential area with houses and shops about 350 meters southwest of JR Takada Baba Station.
Babs.
Poor Babs. I've been to Babs so many times over this past year.
Dude, Babs is awful.
So she was live streaming when a man assaulted her with a survival knife. Sato is a resident of Tokyo's Tama Ward. That's very close to where I live. It's like literally, kind of across the river. She was stabbed multiple times in the neck and chest. I believe it was up to 30 times, something like that.
Christ.
I was taken to a hospital where she was later confirmed dead. So obviously, this is kind of a surprise, to say the least. This kind of stuff does not happen very often, if at all, right? Yeah. And it's very blatant too. Like it's not like he like attacked her while she was going in her house.
Oh no, broad daylight.
Is broad daylight in the middle of the street while she's live streaming, just bang 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 bang, like, and the stream is on. Right. Oh, so it's rolling while she's being stabbed.
Dude, there is video of it apparently.
It's somewhere. Yeah, I bet the internet's forever, and that's definitely not been scrubbed. Like someone has pulled that somewhere, or like there's a VOD of it somewhere, right?
Gruesome. Yeah.
So let's continue. So the suspect, who lives in Oyama, Tochigi Prefecture, was in the possession of the survival knife. So he lives in Tochigi.
Fucking insane.
Yeah. Tochigi is far away.
You're looking at like 2-3 hours of trains.
You
fucking weird. All right, go on.
But I apparently he was not living. So he's from Oyama, Tochigi, but he was living in the north part of Tokyo. Where did they say he was living? I don't remember. He was in. I'll see it when I see it here. He was living. Where the fuck was it? He was like out, like, in like Takasaki, like Maebashi, like really far north Tokyo, right?
Yeah,
like almost like Gunma.
Yeah, basically, right. The boonies, basically.
Yeah, he's middle of nowhere.
He was in Oyama.
That's what it was.
Oyama City in Tochigi. Yeah, he was based in Tochigi. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, the Metropolitan Police Department arrested 42-year-old Kenichi Takano with 2 knives in his possession. He was initially accused of attempted murder, but will likely be arrested on suspicion of murder. At this point, it's not suspicion of murder. It's murder. The MPD said it will investigate whether the man, whose occupation is unknown, is mentally competent. I will get into that later, because this was some of the first reporting as opposed to the second reporting. So the Metropolitan Police Department believes that the suspect, Kenichi Takano, 42, had developed a grudge against victim Airi Sato. So this is kind of weird, where you would think at first glance, right? Like, this is going to be weird incel type, like, I'm watching the streamer and she does things that I don't like, and I'm gonna go and get her killed, right?
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna go and stab her or whatever, right? But that's kind of what the angle was when it was first reported.
Yeah.
But things have come out since then that do not paint her in a good light.
The best, yeah.
Right. So obviously, like, hey, I think I can say this as a starter bullet point. Don't murder people. That's probably not.
Yeah.
Like, just the basics. So Takano has claimed that he had a financial issue with Sato, adding that he wanted to make the reason that he stabbed her was he wanted to make the public know what she had done to him.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
So we'll have to go into a little bit of backstory here. So Takano originally became acquainted with Sato after he began watching her videos in December of 2021.
Ooh.
So that's a long time. That's
hold on.
4 years ago.
Bro's how old?
42.
So she would be
18.
Disgusting.
Yeah, he's 42, so he would have been 38.
And she would be 18.
18.
Arrested.
Which for Japan is kind of grossly
it's
common,
illegal,
unfortunately.
Yeah, but okay, continue. The images being set in, grown-ass man talking to children. Continue.
So he became acquainted with her after watching her videos in December. They started meeting directly, however, around August of 2022. So now already this is weird because I think as a streamer, you probably shouldn't be meeting your fans on stream is one thing. Off stream is another thing entirely that you probably shouldn't be doing. But at the time, she was a smaller streamer, right?
I think even now, like, she wasn't like a massive.
Yeah, she had at the time of her death
2,600 followers.
2000. No, it was up to nearly 4K last I had seen. But that might have been
now it's 4K,
right?
Yeah,
because people are now trying to scrape things.
Before it was 2,600.
So apparently on that app though, like that's large.
Yeah.
For that specific app. It's not like Twitch, like you're not like XQC doing like 50 million a stream or Kaizenat or whatever, right? But for that kind of app, big. So Takano had been donating to her, and he had been donating up to 100,000 yen a month. So to put that in USD at the time, because that's in 2021, not in 2025. In 2021, that was literally about probably $1,000 a month. So he's donating about $1,000 a month. And I guess I thought that that's kind of strange. Like, what, you're donating a lot of money. So she got in contact with him via Line.
Yeah.
After this, he began to frequent her workplace and later started lending her money after she claimed to be struggling to pay her living expenses. So now here's where the story kind of goes sideways.
Yeah.
And you start to be like, okay,
I'm
a little bit less sympathetic to you. So I'm going to bring up the
chats.
The chats here.
The one outside.
Swap it over here. So here's the Japanese chat. So sorry, it's in YouTube video form. I couldn't pull all of them because I wasn't sure where they were pulling the chats from. Otherwise, I would have pulled them myself and then just used them as what's it called?
Okay, this is similar to the ones I saw before. Okay,
right. So he does. This is from Mujin's channel, so he does have an entire video on it. Yeah. I've mostly pulled all my information from news sources. But we'll take a look. So blue is I and white is Takano.
The dude, yeah.
Right? So she's like, can I ask you something seriously? He says, what is this? I'm sorry, but I forgot my wallet when I went to work yesterday, so I'm really strapped for cash. I'll give it back to you when I get it tomorrow or the day after. I want the money transferred to the cash card I have at home, preferably right now. Okay, so like already this seems sus as fuck because you lost your wallet, but you have a cash card at home? That's weird.
Here's my thing as well. It's like, as much as I want to feel sympathy to the guy, I can't. because
yes,
all
well,
I'm,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
you've still murdered someone.
Even that, I don't know what it is. All I'm seeing here is like, I'm like, okay, so you got scammed.
Right. Yes.
So you got scammed. I find it hard to feel. I find it difficult to feel bad for the dude. We'll go more into it, but it's looking through the chat logs. For me personally, I'm like, you're a 30-something-year-old dude, and you're messaging an 18-year-old to be like, wow, I love your live streams, but you're 30-something. Get your shit together. But cool, fair enough.
Right.
All right. You want to donate $1,000 to her every month? Cool, go for it. Do whatever.
But there is a difference though in
Her messaging directly.
Her messaging and asking for the money directly and getting a donation. Those are two completely
that's my
things.
thing.
There's intent behind that, right?
Giving donation directly, fine. Want to be a simp online? Go for it.
Right.
Have a good time. Dime a dozen. Have fun. They message you directly now. You get a little attention. The donations worked. But now they're messaging you directly, asking for money. You as a grown man have to be like, no. Hold on.
So there is more to that message here.
Go for it.
So he asks, okay, can I transfer it now? And she goes, you can go to the bank's ATM corner. He's like, wait for me. How much do you need? She's like, can I get 10,000? I don't know if I can get it by tomorrow.
So Ichiman?
Yeah, I think probably Ichiman. So like, again, like I'm thinking about this as like a you and me situation where like, if you ask me like, hey David, I'm short on money to pay rent or something, I need
give me a money,
or whatever. Like I'd be like, if I had the money, I'd just be like, whatever, right?
Yeah, I
don't care, right? But it's where it starts to go off the rails. Is when she's like specifically asking to donate it to her like cash card, or whatever, or like her account. But then you look at like other messages here. So here's the another message, right, where she's saying like, I won't ask you again. So can I just ask for Gomang?
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, yeah, sure. Wait a minute. Right. Here's where it starts to go awry, I think. Right. Because he's like, okay, I'll transfer it by 8 o'clock. This is the same day, in the same minute, which is, to me, is wild. Like, this is like, beep, 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 beep. Like, this came up. She's like,
what the fuck?
Saying like,
actually, I'm
pregnant now, right? She's like, oh, I'm pregnant now because blah, 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 my boyfriend or whatever, right? And she asks him, like, where did you get this money from? Like, where are you, because you're like donating $1,000 a month.
No, 100%,
where are you getting this money from? The translation here is Eiffel and Lake. Eiffel is in Eiffel, the loan company, not Eiffel. Like it's AIFUL.
He's taking out loans.
So he's taking loans out to pay her, right?
The simp behavior is insane.
Right. So yeah, it's like a guaranteed credit business. He talks to, so she says, oh, he's like, I got it from Eiffel. He's like, I want to borrow from a different company. I want about 50,000 yen to be withdrawn in advance and put into that account for repayment.
Huh?
So she's like saying, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, like borrow it from a different company where it's not going to be tracked or something.
And then put it into
my account. And then you're like telling him,
this is a bit.
She's like, it's going to be revealed that I lied and borrowed it and sent it to you. He's like, I need proof of income. There's a law that said you can't lend out a third of your income to a certain person, right?
No, yeah, you can't, yeah.
So she later says, I looked into it. It turns out that if you have a job that qualifies you as a self-employed person or you're receiving the money in a tax-friendly way, you can still borrow that money even if you can't prove it. So it wouldn't be a lie.
At this stage now, hold on. At this stage, you're once again, I gotta really, really like sort of stop on this. You're a 30-something-year-old man, okay? You cannot be getting conned this completely by a woman in her teens. This is very important to say. She has done more research on loans and investments than she has, I assume, in getting a fucking job. Girl was online deep diving the Reddit accounts looking for...
She comes back here. She says, if you don't have any personal information registered as a regular employee to a company, you can still pass the screening. It is often impossible to confirm whether you're an employee or not.
How would you...
So they just approve you.
What the fuck is this?
So there's no way to find out if it's true or not. I went through because I couldn't confirm. He's like, if you continue to fail income verification, they'll fail you and they'll start to investigate.
So why don't you do it?
Because she doesn't have money. She's asking for the money, right? Like,
see, take a loan. The fuck for me to do? So I gotta take out a loan for you because you can't take out a loan.
So then here's the issue that happens is that the loan companies go, "Where's my money?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, you haven't paid me back, so that I can pay back the loan I took out for you because you don't have a job to take out your own loan."
Yep,
right. She's like, "Oh, well, there's nothing I can do. Whatever happens. Stuff like that." Later on, she talks about like her, she's like, "Oh, I applied to Lake and whatever," and he's like, "Oh, I hope I can borrow the money."
Jesus, dude.
She's like, "I want to die if I can't borrow money." I think what it actually means to say is, "I'm going to die."
I'm going to die. Yeah, if I can borrow money. Yeah.
Or like I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay,
like I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at what her actual message was in Japanese. Let me go back here. Yeah. I assume it's I'm gonna kill myself just by the way that it's censored here.
I want to die or something. Or okay, makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So you start seeing a pattern here, right? Where it's just like she's manipulating the shit out of this dude.
Oh yeah.
He's like, tomorrow is the repayment day. You got to pay me back.
Yep.
She's like, can it be two days? And he's like,
that's not how that fucking works.
That's not how that works. You got to pay me now. Yeah. And you can see the days are moving, right? It's Thursday.
Damn.
Now it's Friday. Now it's Sunday. She finally replies on Sunday, which is, he's like, you're not going to pay me back anymore. And she's like, I don't know. Right? So he goes, I'm barely making ends meet, so unless you transfer the money, I won't be able to pay anything in advance. Please give me the money. So Saturday, Monday, Thursday, right? He's at like, give me the money back. I need the money back. You borrowed the money. You said you're good for it. Give me the money back, right? Then you get to stuff like this, where... Oops, sorry. So do you want to translate this for the people at home?
Yeah, I'm reading through it now. She's got a birthday? What the fuck am I
She says, everyone, today is my birthday. So-and-so gave me...
What the fuck? A wedding ring?
Yes.
The fuck?
She's like, oh, my boyfriend proposed to me with the Saikyo no presento shimashita.
Yeah.
Right? She's like... Right. So if you're looking at this, right, she's posting this online. Wow, so she owes this money. She owes this guy at the time because it is in the police report because he brings the fucking receipts about what's going on. At this point, she had owed him about $270,000.
Damn, dude.
Dollars, not yen, dollars.
Fucking hell.
Right? And she's not paying it back, but she's not telling people, hey, I'm getting married to some dude. He's buying me diamond rings. We're going to a birthday party. She ain't hard up for money.
No.
Most definitely not hard up for money.
This is very much like classic scam bullshit at this stage.
Like, you can see it here. There's a thing here for how much is owed to him.
Wow. Holy fuck.
Right? Or like, this is like the loan form or whatever, right? It's a lot of money.
That's what the repayments that alone is going to be fucking insane.
So let's go back to the story here. After they had become acquainted, you saw the line messages, right?
Yeah.
He knows where she works.
Yeah, of course.
So he knows that she's working. He knows that she's making money. Now he knows that her boyfriend, now her fiance, is giving her a ring, and they're going to. There's like stuff where like I didn't pull it up. She's like taking that money and not paying rent because she's going to Disneyland, like shit like that.
Oh, right? Yeah. I saw some of that.
It's just like, it's absolute just, it's greed at the end of the day. Like, she's taking advantage of this guy, right? So what happens then is that after losing contact with her, because she just started blocking him on stuff, right?
Okay.
Because like, oh, in her mind, oh, this guy's fucking harassing me for this money, and clearly I have no intention of paying it back.
Harass, strong word.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I assume that's the way she put it.
She's being harassed because she owes the man $23,000.
If someone owed me $23,000,
right,
bro, I'm throwing hands. That's crazy.
So after losing contact with her around January to February in 2023, Takano then sued her August over the unreturned money. He's like, I lent this to you in good faith.
Yep.
Now I'm going to sue you. The court then officially, the court ordered her to pay back the 2.5 million yen to Takano.
There we go.
In January 2024, so this is a year later, however, he consulted the local police saying that Sato had gone missing following the ruling and, according to the sources, had not paid back any of the money.
Wait, pause. I guarantee at this stage, the police did absolutely fucking nothing.
Probably, yeah.
Once again,
probably
someone has died.
It's not even. It's not even a. It's a court ordered thing. The court ordered her to pay back the money.
No,
it wasn't just like, oh, here's, give you a handshake.
No,
right?
yeah, exactly.
The court ordered her to pay back the money, and she didn't. A year later, she still has not paid back that money. Meanwhile, she's streaming, she's making money, she's working, she's getting married, right? Like, it's very clear that her life has continued to go on.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like, oh, well, I owed that guy money, whatever, right? So he consulted the local police to where she lived because he knew where she worked and where she lived, saying that she had gone missing following the ruling and had not paid him back. So he has claimed that he sent Sato more than 2 million. We know now that it's 2.5, 2.3 million for living and other expenses at her request, but she did not return the money. Obviously, court records show that Takano sued her in August of 2023, seeking the repayment that had been loaned to her in 13 installments since September of 2022. So it wasn't just like a big lump sum. He's,
pay me in parts.
Right. So like, I give you Ichiman here, I give you Ichiman there, I give you Niman here, right? And it's like, oh, I need a little bit more. It's over time.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like suddenly block you with 2.whatever million yen of payments, but make an effort. Make your best effort to pay. Like,
so he said in court, in the court proceedings, that she cut off contact with him after paying some of the amount in January 2023.
There's also a thing where, according to fans, apparently had discussed this on a live stream, where she admitted that she'd borrowed money from a listener, but said she'd blocked him because his comments online had gotten quote unquote awful. You owe someone 2.3 million.
And here's the other thing too, is that when she got sued, she didn't even appear in court. She just didn't come.
Seriously.
So that's probably another reason why she fucking lost.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Right. So the ruling fully sided with Takano's claim and ordered Sato to repay the amount in full. And this is where we get to what happened in Babs.
Yep.
He said to the police, this is what he's giving them as like a quoted thing. He says, I saw a notice about her live streaming schedule and came to Tokyo on the morning of that day.
Damn.
Police quoted him as saying, then I identified her location by watching the live video she was streaming. So obviously, Takano no Baba is a pretty...
It's not that big. You can tell where people are.
You can tell where they are. Yeah, especially because Takano no Baba too... If she's going and arriving by train, depending on when she's streaming, it's fairly unique because it has its own specific train chime. And if you know what it is, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And there's like art around the station that is like easily identifiable as Takano no Baba.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that eventually he found her. So he also said, I thought the world would know what she had done if I created an incident and a trial was held. So like, I assume he meant to shank her once
and be done with it.
But he went way overboard. Like, I think, we all make
mistakes in the heat of passion, Jimbo.
So, one stabbing went to 30 stabbings, and she definitely died on the spot. So, Takano said that he had taken out 1 million yen in loans from 2 consumer credit companies, which is Eiffel and I don't know what Lake is, but it's another company. And he was sent to prosecutors on Thursday of this week, so 2 days ago, on the charge of murder. Police said Takano had consistently explained his actions on the day of the incident, and that they believe he is mentally competent to be held criminally responsible.
Yeah, of course he is. Damn. There is currently no evidence, however, that Sato encouraged a romantic or sexual relationship with this man twice her age.
Right.
There is no evidence Takano pursued such relationships.
And like the fact that that has not been brought up by either party, either in their line, like conversation, or by his admission after the act.
Yeah.
I would assume that it's not the case, and it is literally just about money.
That's absolutely insane. Holy fuck. Yeah, there was a thing where someone was bringing up that maybe like Sato has like mental health issues or something like that, and that like led into like her kind of not paying and like sort of trying to dodge the payment. Man, it's hard. This is a situation where everyone sucks, I want to say.
Right, yes. It is definitely a situation kind of where everyone
sucks here. I think, obviously the dudes, I forget his name, the dude fucking sucks. Bro, relax. Like, cool. You want to get your money back. Completely understandable. It's 2.3 million fucking yen.
But on the one hand, I feel kind of bad for him because he went through the due process. He sued her and he did like everything right. And she just refused to pay him back, and nothing fucking happened. Like, no one was there to enforce the ruling in any way, shape, or form. And he's like, yo, it's been a year, and I still don't have my shit. What the fuck?
I've been saying this for fucking years now. If you go back on the podcast, I've said this many times before. Crime is legal in Japan. All crime is legal here because there is no one enforcing punishments. There's no one who like
outside of like straight up just murder,
like straight up murdering
which is
someone.
what happened here, and he's gonna go to jail.
You can kind of do whatever the fuck you want here. It's like, oh, you've molested someone on the train. The woman goes to the police, the call band at the station. Hey, this guy just molested me. Guy goes, no, I didn't. Police go, sounds like he said, she said to me. Like shogun, like crime is so like stupidly like not. Like, punishments aren't enforced here.
It is so strange.
Bro went through the entire court system, and even then it wasn't enough to get it.
And he fucking won.
I think at this stage, for anyone who is like, what else could be done? That's my question as well. What else could be done?
Yeah.
I guess go to the police again, but the police are going to say, you went to court. Yeah, I went to court. Okay. I mean, just wait. She paid back Sun Mun, so it looks like she's slowly paying it back. Is probably what they would say.
But in the meantime is posting like, I'm getting married and going to Disneyland and everything's great. And it's you can't pay this guy back. Why?
Apparently she made some claim she's made over 10 million yen in streaming, so 67.
And you can't pay him back 200 of that?
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
What is going on there? Yeah, this is very much an everyone sucks situation. For him as well, personally, I'm like, bro, I get kind of your base plan. Go on her stream, I guess rough her up or whatever you want to do. Like do something, and then like cause a massive stink. You get arrested, but also what happened, what she did comes out. But then what? Right. Because you've got the court filing. You won the case. She still didn't pay you back.
Right.
Cool. You stab her on stream. Let's say she didn't die. It comes out that she owes you 2.3 million yen. Now what? Because now you're in prison. Now what? Attempted murder, you're in prison.
You get that. You might get that money back now, but
how?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Because now she's dead. How you can get the money back, big boy? Fucking idiot! Like,
yeah, now you're gonna be now you're in prison, and you're not gonna see that money for sure.
For sure. Now you still owe the 2.3 million. Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Right.
What a stupid plan. What a half-baked plan. Thing is, there are 1,000 other things you could have done. Like, Japan is a really slow system when it comes to justice. Like, you've won the court case, cool. You now have that one, like the court case on your side. The person is still in Japan.
You're right.
Sato is still here. Well, she was still here. She's not going anywhere.
Nope.
She's not fled the country. You could be a little more persistent. You could bug all the police. If you're gonna stalk her to Takano Baba to fucking I don't know, like stalk her live stream, whatever, find her address. Pay a private eye. Won't be hard. She's streaming half the time. I would pay.
Yeah, I mean, you found her, so
you found her.
Hard.
I'd pay a private eye. I'd be like, yo, private eye, this girl's streaming. Can you follow her, find where she lives, get her address, so I can then use that to hire bailiffs or something, or give it to the police for them to do
debt
something.
collectors or whatever.
Yeah. Something can be done, but like, for you to go to the most extreme option of like, I'm just going to stab her on stream. And then step one.
Because that'll solve my problem.
That'll solve the problem. Step 1, find her and talk on Obaba. Step 2, stab her. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, all my money comes back.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, David.
She'll pay me now that I stabbed her, right?
Now that I've stabbed her, now that she knows I mean business. She'll be like, listen, I wasn't going to pay you before, but now that you've stabbed me, I understand you're a man about business, and I'm going to pay you back that 2.3 million yen.
I don't want to get stabbed again.
I see you mean business.
Right. You've brought your business knife.
Aggressive negotiations. Interesting.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot. Yeah, I think when the story first came out as well, I was like fucking blown away. I was like, another incel nonsense.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
Here's the weird parasocial Andy who got too big for his britches and went and assassinated someone, right? Because like that's what it was painted as when it was first reported, but it is definitely not.
Nope.
That case. So it was really weird to see people's reactions too. They're like, "Oh my god, is live streaming safe?"
You're fine.
Yes, it's fine if you don't owe someone 2.3 million yen.
The funniest one I saw was Council Johnny's.
Yeah.
He's great. The story came out in Japanese. He translated. He's like, "Oh, breaking! A Japanese IRL streamer, Mogami I was stabbed by a hater and went into cardiac arrest in Takonobaba, Tokyo." First fucking reply to this thing is this fucking, I don't know who this guy is. Some kick streamer should tell you all you need to know. Fucking kick streamers.
It's Tazo, right?
Yeah, Tazo.
So weirdly enough, I was watching Johnny Smalley stuff before the podcast.
Yeah.
His face came up in a list right next to Johnny Smalley. So not surprised that he's a piece of shit.
Of course what a piece of fucking shit. Bro tweets, "Do you feel any responsibility for this after encouraging harassment of IRL streamers in Japan?" Bro, Johnny Somali.
Yes.
No, just replies, "No, I emoji heart IRL." Greatest fucking comic I've seen. So I saw this and I was like, this is like...
I encourage harassment of people like you if you're
100%.
going to be a piece of shit.
100%. I saw the reply and I was like, someone's literally stabbed to death and this bro's first thing was try to turn on the person
What about
reporting
me?
What about me? What about my needs and wants? Like, this is kick streamers in a fucking nutshell. What if fucking dickheads, honestly. But what a... did you see all the instant replies to the story as well? I think every single person thought it was about like incels.
Well, I mean, that was how it was reported, so I'm not surprised that was the kind of the narrative that was ran with, because that, young female streamer gets stabbed by old dude, like immediately you go, sounds like an incel.
What's crazy as well is that I remember reading the story as well and being like, oh, incel behavior, incel activities, it must be an incel. I didn't even think about it again until it was maybe like a couple of days before this podcast, where I was like, oh, we're going to talk about this on podcast. It's going to be great. And I'm researching the story and I'm like,
right.
What? Right? I was
because
like,
without all that other context about getting the money, lying about you needing it, and all this other stuff, you would think, be like, oh, okay, like he's just a fucking psychopath and he killed it because he killed it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see this happen all the time. There was the idol before that got stabbed like 100 fucking times and she lived, but or the woman who was like stalked by her ex-boyfriend Fukuoka and she got stabbed and she fucking died, right? Like, so like you hear enough about these kind of stories that you just go, oh, okay, that's the default, because why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Even with the money element of it as well. Like I saw the thing about, oh, he was donating like $1,000 a month, and I was like,
oh, okay, he's a big old simp.
Yeah, I was like, classic simp incel streamer, boys. Close the store. Nothing more to see here. It was only when I was like really deep diving into the story that I was like, holy fucking shit. This is like an entire thing that's been going on for the last started 2020? When did it start?
2020? Well, I mean, originally they had been talking since 2022. So
there we go, yeah.
It's 3 years long. Like
3 years in the making. 3-4 years in the making. Absolute insanity. My problem is now the websites and the articles, especially ones in Japanese, that created articles being like, woman stabbed by hater, woman stabbed by incel, this guy's a fucking loser. I mean, these things are also true, but are you now going to release a new story? Are you now going to release an update of the story being like, actually, that is true, but also, everyone kind of sucks here. Here's the entire story. Here are the screenshots. Here are the messages. Is that going to be released next, or are we done? Or is it just the people that thought it was incel behavior are going to continue think it was incel behavior until someone literally has to tell them, hey, that's actually not what happened. That's not the full story.
Right.
You know? So I doubt they're going to. It's a very like, let me check now, actually. I can check right now because I don't think they're going to change the story. What do you think?
No, probably not. Yeah, you look at some of the comments on the like news reports after the stuff came out, and here's like one that's translated. There's like, they say there's no way you can borrow 2.5 million yen and just say, I don't know, blocked. You're getting too carried away. You're losing if you're hated until you get stabbed. Yeah.
Basically.
Yep. I can't approve of murder, but I can understand the murderous intent.
Bro, I saw that. Fucking hell. I think one of the things that's not good, I saw people using Morgami as like a suffix for like killing someone. Like there was probably another live streamer that was going, just didn't know any money, just going live, you know, just vibing. And then someone messaged something like, oh, you're going to be the next person to get fucking Morgami-eyed in like Japanese. I don't know. I don't like this story just because it is going to be a massive kind of a flag to the weird incellers who are going to be like, "Oh, see this? We were right. Women bad." It's like, no, this woman kind of bad, but not all. Like,
it's interesting, like reading some of the, because there's always psychos on.
There's
like,
always
Yahoo News or whatever, right?
Especially on Twitter.
Interesting thing, yeah. Damn. I just looked at this because there is a Yahoo News article about it. It said, the live murderer suspect's ultimatum. The victim lived in a high-rise apartment with her fiance, so she was not paying rent, very clearly, but she was asking for rent.
Damn.
And he said, if that was the case, give me back even Ichiman yen.
Yeah.
Like in the DMs, right?
Yeah,
he
exactly.
had sent DMs 4 days before the incident, which is ignored. Some of the comments, there's so many comments.
So many fucking comments.
3,500 comments on this article, right?
Jesus, dude.
So like the first one's like, it may be regrettable that she was 22 years old, but if she would have not lost her life, how would it have felt, you know, if she regained consciousness, right? If she had paid back the money as ordered by the court, like none of this would have happened. I think that the act is taking as much money as she could and then running away is not so different from fraud or bank transfer scams. Would he have been able to live in dignity in the future now that the truth of the situation has become known to the public, right? Like now what's happening, now what's going to happen to him, right? Other people, it's wrong to kill someone, but I feel sorry for the perpetrator after what happened. He never asked for tips or gifts, and it seems like he knew what he was doing out of kindness, right? Like he wasn't doing it to get something from her, right? Like he was doing it out of kindness, right? There's no way he could take the money from such a weak person and then live life in a high-rise apartment with their fiance. I saw a video on social media of them going to Disneyland and overseas. But is that what it really means to steal someone's money, right? Like it is really fucked when you look at it from that angle, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, killing someone is bad.
He's bad.
But again, you can completely understand where this guy's coming from, especially if he's hard up for money, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I lent this to you out of the goodness of my heart. I didn't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he actually expected.
Maybe there was some kind of fucking shitagokoro. We don't know. We don't have the names for it.
But the implication was she directly told him, "Yeah, I'll pay you back."
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. There was an understanding between two people and between both of them in the court that the money was coming back, and it just never came back, right? And meanwhile, you're taking trips and going to Disneyland and all this other shit, right? It's just like, dude.
I think people gotta really remember, especially in Japan. People really have to remember that. Man, it's a weird society of like really pent up individuals. You cannot wind someone up that much for that long and not expect a blowout. This is why, as we've always said, crimes in Japan are really tiny or just the most insane crimes you've ever heard in your entire life because people are pent up. It's weird. It's I don't know. There's something about Japan that creates like that weird situation. I don't know. I can't be on her side, but I can't be on his side either. I'm kind of just like standing outside, just being like, yeah, I understand why he did it, but I also know why it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And someone comments here too. It's like it should be properly judged whether her series of action deserved criminal punishment afterward, right? taking into account that the suspect had a publicly recognized debt to the victim after a trial.
Yes.
Right? So it's like you had gone through the thing. Like if that was the case, the government or the court system should have been going after her. But like a year later and nothing's fucking happened. Like you look at it's more the system that failed.
Yep.
Honestly, weirdly enough, it's probably the system that failed both people.
It is. This is once again a case of Japanese police, the Japanese like court legal system getting someone else killed because they're not doing their shit properly. Look at take back to the first conversation we had at the beginning of the podcast. Take Johnny Somali. Exact same thing. A lot of the shit that's happening now can be traced back to the fact that he got away with it in Japan.
Yep. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
I mean, he was he was locked up for the maximum amount of time they could lock him up.
And they let him go.
They slapped him with a fine of like $500 and were like, okay, but
you can go now.
We're going to ban you from the country, be on your way.
Stupid. The Japanese, like the legal system is really, really bad.
Interesting take, Dan. If she did this to a Yakuza and they killed her, would anyone feel bad?
No one even know.
No one would know. Yeah.
No one even know.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. No one would know. You'd be there, then you'd be gone.
I wonder, people will wonder what happened because she was somewhat of a public figure, so she would just kind of disappear.
They'll just be like, oh, she got married and babies and children, and now she's living a quiet life somewhere. Yeah. End of story. Like, that'll be it.
Yeah, the fact that the dude that gave her the money just happened to be a kind of a loser schmuck.
Kind of like a loser, yeah. That's it.
Yep. And I mean, as far as this ties into like us, as far as like, streaming outside or other people who are streaming outside, like you're fine. Like this was an isolated incident that was in the works for clearly much longer. And it was not like, it was not a random attack.
No,
I think like that's the biggest thing to take away from this. It was not random, and she wasn't targeted because she was a woman. They had history together, and I think like, what is it, like 85-90% of the time that something like this happens,
they know
the person that they're attacking, because there's usually no reason to just attack a random person, right? Like typically, unless you're a psychopath.
Yeah, but it's a big story. I wonder if the first sort of outcry, someone's been stabbed. Oh, it's terrible. Incels, yada yada. I wonder if it would have had the same initial backlash if it was a dude, or like not. I think it would have the initial like shock of like, oh my god, a live streamer was stabbed. It would still be like a big thing,
right?
But I'm wondering if it would have the same.
You mean if it was reversed and it was an old lady and a younger guy?
Yeah, old lady, younger guy, or
I think people would be like, oh no, the old lady got scammed out of her money. But
100%, yeah.
I don't think the old lady would kill the dude either. So like,
old lady, younger guy, it'd be like, oh no, the old lady got scammed.
She got scammed.
What a fucking. Good. But I think
as bad as that is to think, I think that's probably what the situation would be, like the general public being like, you scammed an old lady out of money. Like, what kind of an asshole are you, right? Like that would be
100%
probably the answer, right?
It's hard. Even a guy and a guy. You take a guy and a guy, same situation, like same age, same sort of demographic, but the streamer has scammed the dude. I think it would be like live streamer stabbed, and everyone would go, oh man, that's crazy. But that'd be it.
That would be it.
There'd be no kind of like, oh, incels. It would just be like, that's crazy. And then we'd wait a minute, and it'd be like, it was a whole scam thing. Oh, you know what I mean? It's very interesting how if you change the characters just a little bit, like the entire situation and the way it was swept up by sort of a like Twitter. And that those spaces would really change.
Everyone was so hyper focused on reporting it and getting it out there as quickly as possible.
People didn't take the time to.
I mean, but that information I think came after he started talking.
He did.
The police and was like, "Hey, I went to court and she owes me money and yada yada yada."
Classic. I mean, no, the fact that they caught him so quickly, there was a little inkling in the back of my head where I was like, the Japanese police can't do shit. The fact that they caught him so quickly means he was probably on scene still, is what I assumed.
Well, it's so the thing about this is like she was live streaming at the time.
Yeah,
her viewers knew where she was.
Yeah.
So if she got attacked, like, okay, I'm gonna call the closest Koban in
the area.
Be like, so and so got attacked on this street at this
time.
Go.
Yeah.
Right. Joey and the others got community noted over it. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, they got community noted over the fact that they reported it before other information came out.
Yeah.
Unless I'm misunderstanding what you mean by
that's what it
getting
was.
community noted.
Yeah. It was. I think they initially posted just being like this was the facts of the case up until now, and then the community note was basically like, but also scam.
But also this, yeah, right. Like, there's a little bit more to the story now.
Yeah, here's a little more to the story. I mean, I get it. When stuff like this happens, you do want to. There is that urge to want to post about it straight away.
Especially if it's someone in an industry that's like, you know,
that you kind of work in.
Right?
Yeah. Like if someone died in the space I work in, I'd be like, holy fucking shit, that's, you know,
how
that's
did we
insane.
get here, right?
I'm gonna post about this immediately, you know.
Yeah.
Man, what a time to be alive and living in Japan. Holy fucking shit, guys.
It definitely feels like, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but it definitely feels like the amount of crime in general
it's increasing
is going up, and like not just like crime, like violent crime.
Yes, it is. It is Japan is now doing something that happened to the UK in I think the 80s or the noughties, where the economic that's what it's called, the noughties, the O's. It's when I think the economic situation now and in the UK back then was very similar, where there are an abundance of jobs. There are a bunch of jobs, but the pay for those jobs are dog shit, and they don't keep up with like inflation or the cost of living. So people don't have the urge to work. It's a massive like apathy along like young people. They're not really voting. They have no sort of urge to do anything really. And then those from like poorer areas are slowly realizing like, this is kind of it. I'm kind of fucked. Right. I don't have any skills. I don't have any language abilities to like leave the country. I'm kind of stuck here. And even if I work a shitty salary job for the next like 50 years, I'm still kind of fucked. Fuck it. I'm gonna raise hell. And it's the exact same thing that was happening in the UK. That's when we saw like a big resurgence of like skinhead gangs and like yada 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 yada. But yeah, it's a very interesting one-to-one. Knowing the Japanese government, they'll do nothing about this, because to have change, you need to create good policies that are going to help the poorest and the lowest in society.
Well, I mean,
which they're not
to get, we're in like the nth hour here, but not to get into stuff, but like, you know, Ishiba he had a scandal like last week about paying off people in the LDP, and you're like, oh, what a surprise! The LDP do it again.
I'm never. This is my international, I would say, request to all Japanese people in voting age: stop voting for the fucking LDP. For the love of fucking Christ, stop it. Stop it. You keep. I don't understand why you keep doing this. Like, I kind of understand, because I'm like, okay, that is the part that's been in command your entire life. And it's what you're used to. And change is scary in Japan. And 20, 30 years ago, you voted in the DPJ and they weren't that good. Fine. Try again. Try something else. Because for fuck's sake, these guys aren't helping. And they're not making your lives easier. But people they will not stop voting these fucking retards in. And then every single fucking time, new scam, new policy that doesn't affect anyone but old people, raise tuition for university, create like shitty processes that only help big companies. Bro, some companies are losing not only unions, but like base pay and like base protections that people fought for during like the 70s and the 80s, like in Japan, slowly being eroded away because people are voting in the fucking LDP time and time again, and they're only supporting big business and rich people. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, am I going crazy? Are none of you seeing this? Luckily, I make enough money where I'm kind of above it all financially. Like socially, I'm not getting touched by this. I'm not in university. I'm not a child anymore. I'm a grown up. So like the ones who are coming up now, like the young people voting age who are coming up now.
Right, the people who are, you know, 15, 20 years are
going to have to schlock through this. You're fucked. You're actually fucked. Unless you start voting for like active change and like doing things to actively change society, you are fucked. We'll be fine. The older generation, they'll be fine. People with like marketable skills who already like made it past that block of like shit you're gonna get through before you like reach a level where you can actually do shit with your life, will be fine. But everyone else, you're gonna be fucking weighed down with debt and dog shit. America right now, basically, just it's awful, just fucking awful, dude. It's not good. vote for change. That was my one. That's political minute with Jordan. So this is literally my wheelhouse. And I was watching a lot of political stuff this week, and it's really got me fucking charged up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm praying for like big change in Japan. Honestly, it's
well,
ridiculous.
I wonder. I've said this for a long time.
Go
on. Nothing changes until someone dies.
Ooh,
I wonder.
Come on.
Like, is there gonna be any kind of like streaming outside reactionary take on this by government bodies? Do you think?
Yeah, there's probably gonna be like some kind of like knee-jerk reaction to it, where they're like, new law, no women can stream. We've done it, boys.
Honestly, I'm okay with that. No people being dickheads outside. I'm fine with that.
New law,
Slap
boys.
them with a fine instantly. Bang. Straight to what's that guy? Do this thing straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Surprisingly, straight to jail. No, I
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. All right, boys. Called it, wrap it up there.
I think so. Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
I mean, we covered the topic as well as I think we could. I don't think there's much else to say about it.
Nah, smashed it, dude. And I got a little event I gotta go to. I gotta go rub shoulders and fucking kiss babies and stuff. A little work thing. But it should be fun. If anything interesting happens, I will tell you about it next week. And I assume interesting things will happen. So yeah. Guys, see you next week. Be healthy, be safe, and we'll see you then.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.